Huge sigh of relief.
All right, let's see who's going to win.
Very impressive from him, but we're ready to continue. We still have more matches. So I believe now we're going to head down to our 0-1 round, which means it's Roby and Antarel. They're playing for their lives in the tournament at this point.
This is definitely elimination. So if, as you said, one of them loses, they are completely out of the tournament. No other chances given to them.
And this is where the pressure really starts to mount. It's a game of inches of a little bit of damage going either way. And when the pressure's on, when the stakes are this high, it's easy to make a mistake. I mean, we saw Dededa, I think, falling off the map in that last one. Little mistakes like that can lose you a life-changing sum of money.
Right. Well, that's the thing about rivals, right? Is the movement speed is very fast. It's almost like parkour, but you can use that to your advantage, but you also got to be very careful, especially a map like Construction.
What did you think about the gun selection in our first one? Because we went a little unconventional there with Dededa, and I don't think it paid off.
I am a little bit surprised. I do like the minigun because I'm in the business of spraying and praying. But yeah, no, definitely not the right choice in hindsight.
Well, the players are banning weapons into our lower rounds here, making careful consideration of what they want to compete against. Anything that you would want to ban away if you were a competitor here, Enu?
I would probably ban the assault rifle.
Really? It is the one where a lot of players like to play. When I'm playing this game, I almost always lock the AR.
It is the favorite. So if the assault rifle gets banned, people have to get a lot more creative, and that will make for some interesting matches. But doesn't look like that happened.
And it's the tried and true. Here we go. Elimination match. Antarel facing off against Dededa.
I am sweating, and I am not even competing.
Antarel gets the first lick of damage. A bigger map that we're playing on here. Wide open on the crossroads. Up top, Antarel gets stuck in this lower down position, trying to find his opponent. Still, not getting any information. Nade goes up. That'll catch a little bit of damage, trying to find the headshot. Jumping in the air. They're both low, but Roby on the revolver. The sidearms proving clutch yet again.
Yes, because, I mean, the magazine of assault rifle is pretty small at
20 bullets, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to really use your secondary to its full potential there.
Roby was our last qualifier. Played every single round heading into this one. And already a good exchange of damage going both ways. They're both down to half HP. A reload found for each of these players. The utility off the Molotov. Doesn't find a connection. Over the top he goes. Melee in hand. Spots his opponent, but the shot's not landing. Roby in the air trying to find a connection, and he does it again.
Well done.
Go Roby.
One shot away from death. Roby clutches up.
Very nicely played from him. I think Roby, thus far here, I think this is going to be just a true...
What the heck?
Here for Dededa. We're up to 3-0 now. I want to focus on Antarel this round because we're starting to get to dangerous territory. This man has got to turn this around when the pressure is high, when he's against a strong opponent.
And this is what I mean. Oh.
That damage, it's just incredible. He hasn't even received a lick of damage, and Roby's beamed him almost down to 0 HP. It would take an impeccable clutch to bring things back, but from mid-air,
amazing movements. Wow.
Roby off the top rope decimates Antarel. And we're on the verge of a sweep.
Oh, man. I would be so nervous if I was Antarel. And like I was saying earlier, this is where the 1v1 FPS shooters is where your skills really show.
It's all about mechanics in the 1v1. And again, Roby at range is dishing out the damage. Antarel, his last chance at $1 million, trying desperately to stay alive. Low health. An aid to try and connect. That's good damage, but
Molotov.
Still needs to find the shots at the end.
Looks like Antarel is electing to go with the ADS, with hipfire, even at long range.
They spot each other, though. Antarel trying to find this connection. The spread on the bullet's just a little bit too wide to be able to take his opponent down. That's a good nade, but doesn't quite find its mark. Antarel now moving back through. This is Roby here as well. Trying to look for an opportunity. Antarel!
Wow.
He's back with at least one round, Enu.
The dreams stay alive.
That was an intense one. When it gets close like that, this map plays a lot differently. There's way more opportunities to hide, duck for cover.
Yeah, it's a very big map for 1v1.
Oh, lots of damage going both ways here. This could be the end for Antarel. He needs another round win in a row. And to even build more off of that. But he's taking damage. Spots his opponent.
Interesting reload time there. Not sure why he chose to do that.
Still, you always want as many opportunities, as many bullets you can. Any second, you want to get that reload through. And he's kind of lost. He can't find where his opponent is. But it's the same for Roby. We're watching a man on the verge of staying alive, of progressing, having a chance to play another round. and maybe make it to that million.
They both understand the map very well, and it shows in their movement.
And Terrell. Low
Hold on.
health. 63 to his name
He's gonna
against
win.
60 on Roby. Low time, and Anterel
Wow.
again.
Oh my gosh, and
Bad
Terrell.
He
timing
really
there
run
with
this back.
Yeah, bad timing there with
And
climbing up the
Terrell.
stairs. Couldn't recover, and Terrell spotted him first. So I think he could. Anything is possible.
Momentum's
And
big.
Terrell.
If not in the actual game, in the emotion. You feel like you have a chance when
Go,
you start
Roby.
to score wins, rally through it. Range Roby, he's been successful.
Like Jay Party said, he likes to put us in an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, he does. Couple shots missing, a little uncharacteristic of what we've seen from Roby thus far. A good nade. Doesn't do too much damage. Reposition. Anterel still stuck into the low ground. It's a danger to contest at this range, but the shots are good. He's connecting again.
Wow.
4-3.
No.
He's 1 away from tying this
No
round
way.
yet again.
This is unbelievable.
No,
It
Roby
did
gotta turn
not
it
seem
around.
that close from the beginning.
Certainly didn't, Enyu. And now
Wait,
you have to
Enyu's?
start to look at this from Roby's POV.
Wait, that's NU.
Can he close this out? He doesn't want to choke this opportunity away and find himself eliminated from a 4-0
Wait,
start
NU?
to rivals. Dives into the low ground, close quarters battle. It's coming down to the wire.
Did
Anterel
not turn around in
again!
Oh my
time.
gosh,
Wow.
sudden death.
The game is tied.
I think Enterel's electing to stay in the low ground because he could
Go,
just duck
Roby.
under the tunnels and move around and
Go,
really
Roby.
lose Roby. It's happened a couple of times, so great strategy.
4-4. Everything comes down to this, but at range, Roby, he wants to close this out. Don't let the game slip. Don't let
Shades
this
on.
be the one on your memories as you go to sleep tonight. Anterel, low again, but he's been clutch all game, trying to dip and dive. He'll get back to cover, the safety of the low ground where he's been successful all game.
This is so intense.
Anterel,
Terrell.
can he do it?
No, I meant
There
Down
he is
on
in the
it.
tunnels.
Down on chances, trying to rally this one back. Roby
Amazing prediction.
also sticking to his guns. He stays up top. Down below, gun's not out. Roby, he finds it and connects on through
Wow.
for his 5th round. Roby
What a
stays
close call.
alive,
Oh,
eliminates
Roby.
Anterel from the competition, and has another chance in rivals. That almost slipped him by on you.
It almost feels like he planned this because he always
Right.
does this to us. Coming back, in the last second for the win, very impressive. And you could see with his reaction there, like he did the hand gesture. He knew how close that was. So great job performing under pressure. Was
Yeah.
anybody's game there.
That is an intense one indeed. It feels like that map plays so differently because I think you saw Roby was always successful with these long range fights. Anterel was always winning at these close range fights. But after that round, let's take a little peek at this leaderboard and talk more about it because that change up in strategy from Anterel was almost enough.
Right. And looks like Roby, his chance stays alive. And going into the third rivals match, he might just have
Oh my
another
gosh.
shot at taking over going into the final
Go.
obby.
It would be him against
Go,
Dudadud.
Dudadud.
All of these players said they loved the obby. It was one of their most played. Years upon years of experience across these players. But for Anterel, the most experienced member on the stage today, unfortunately, that ends his competition. He had his moments. He almost brought it back. But today, Anterel has to walk home empty-handed. Let's hear it for him, though. He definitely had skill on display.
job,
He
Anterel.
really showed his worth in blade battles, qualifying through early off of that. A player who put a lot out onto that field today.
Keep your chin up, pal. Well done.
Would love to see him competing again sometime, but today, unfortunately,
Like
it
NU
comes down
said.
to seconds. It comes down to one round, and he will not be moving on.
Yeah, it was a very, very close call.
I watch
am,
NU all the time.
I'm still pumped.
Yeah, and I feel like you have to be as well if you're the player
Perfect,
who
I'm
made it through. Roby
Am
here,
I? I don't know.
he has another game to play, and
Well,
it's going to be against another competitor.
yeah, this is it, folks. Last chance for Dud and Roby. Who will move on to compete for $1 million and who will be going home? Give us your
question.
answers in the chat.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they say. I think Roby is, you got to look at him as a strong competitor, especially. I think he showed great precision at range, the way he was beaming with that AR, but in the close quarters fights wasn't quite as strong. Dudadud, however, the biggest thing I'm looking at is a weapon change. Frankly, I don't think the minigun really cuts it against a strong AR player.
I totally agree.
If I'm going up against the minigun and I'm Roby, I want to play a longer range map and I want to just use the advantage of that weapon.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, maybe Dud likes to ban the assault rifle, seeing how great Roby is.
Honestly, it
That
wouldn't
could
be a
be part of the strategy.
good call, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Of course, they're getting into the game now. Looks like they're starting to go through their bans. And it looks like we're going to be going to a little different map, Station. Talk to me about how this plays versus the other maps in the competitive pool.
Station, to me, is it going to be Station?
Oh, I apologize. It's actually Docks.
Docks.
It plays a little similarly. Another one of those maps with a lot of cover, a lot of buildings to get up in.
Right. Yeah. You know what? Docks is definitely one of the fan favorites. So great map to end this last round on. Yeah, like you said, a lot of cover, a lot of buildings. So map knowledge and movement will be key. Staying on the high ground, very important.
And look at this pivot. Dud is moving to the classic AR revolver. I think that's a good choice.
Great change in strategy. And the sniper
going
rifle.
For the sniper, he's staking his chance at $1 million.
Wow.
On a new weapon. It's a game about movement and avoiding that sniper, and soon Dud will see that glint. He'll 80-80 strafe his way on through and deal a lot of damage to start.
I mean, I believe Roby, with his accuracy, the sniper rifle could be a good choice here.
Could be. Revolver always in his back pocket. It's a bit more cumbersome than the other weapons in the game. And I love this. He's playing to his advantage. Stays in the low ground. Yep. Doesn't want to give range to his opponent with the sniper.
Yep. And Roby last round did chase a lot, but this time deciding to stay on the rooftop and not playing too aggressive with a sniper rifle. Definitely the right choice.
You see the clock at the top of your screen. When that runs out,
yeah,
what's going to happen then?
I have no idea.
It is actually so rare that it happens in Rivals. I believe then it should be the player with the more health winning that. We'll see if we get there. It's kind of a rarity to see Rivals actually play this slowly.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't get to that
Close
point.
range revolver. How does he win it? That's the sidearm coming up on top for Roby.
How does Roby do that?
Wow, very impressive.
I'm astounded. True precision from him.
And it looks like the votes are in. Over 3,000 votes. 77% going towards Roby for winning this final match. Let's see if he can pull off.
He nearly hit that midair.
Hold up.
And it's almost devolving into a bit of a game of chicken.
Yeah, Dud need to stay under cover and try to move closer towards Roby. But that revolver shot is also very deadly, so he still needs to be careful.
The dash with the melee weapon equipped as well is a powerful tool to reposition into ways your opponent may not expect. Dud, he's just vying for information here, jiggling in and out of every corner. He spots out his opponent. Dips away. Does Roby go in for the kill? Does he want the hunt here? He does. Close in, trying to switch to his weapon. He's got nothing out.
Oh.
And he loses this round. Game tied again.
Yeah, interesting choice there. Not sure why he pulled out the fists.
I think he was trying to throw a grenade. He thought he had more space, but then got kind of caught off guard and it looked like almost panicked a little bit with the util.
Yeah, it is always dangerous to play so aggressive with a sniper, so... Looks like he completed some tasks there.
Yeah, thus far he has not hit a shot with the sniper, but now he lands one. 70 damage onto Dud. But of course he needs more than just that. The damage is good. Beaming him down, switch to the revolver. They're both on the secondaries, and Dud takes the lead.
All three gunfights have been close quarters. I wonder if Roby decides to change weapon at some point here. Sticking with the sniper rifle.
I believe you're locked in once you choose.
Oh, you can't change now.
So,
oh, wow.
Well, he is committed to that sniper.
Wow.
He made his bet. He has to lie in it now. And whether that's one that'll bring him to the $1 million round or send him home empty-handed, could it be the revolver to do it? Good utility with the molly, trying to find it. Dud wins out in the duel of the secondaries, and he's up 3-1.
Oh, man. But if we know anything about Roby, he could pull off some miracles with comebacks. So I would not be surprised at all.
He was in the pole position last game. Nearly let it slip.
Great
He closed it out.
Deciding to not stay in the high ground this time.
Yeah, Dud staying inside these buildings. He knows his advantage.
Yeah, it's so silent in this room. I feel like I could hear a pin drop. It's so intense.
And you look over at the competitors. They are so locked
in.
They know what's at stake. If you were one of these competitors that made it within a hair's breadth of qualifying.
What was that?
I think just
you got a hit marker on that.
I believe that gives you one when you do break that. Not sure though. Could have even been a connection onto one of the barrels. Definitely wasn't onto Roby. He's still sitting at full health. Where is he though? They're both inside of buildings here. Bit of a slower game yet again.
30 seconds left.
Making a lot of steps here. Roby on high, revolver in hand. Down below, quick scope in, doesn't connect the
That was
shot.
so close.
And now with a lower bit of health, he has to win it out practically with just a revolver. But Dud's got the same. It's going to be a standoff between these
It's
Cowboys.
gonna be a tie.
Roby
It's gonna be a
chasing
tie.
down his opposition. Revolver in hand, the lower HP, and the time, that runs out.
Oh.
Unfortunately, that means with lower health, Roby loses the round and he's facing down the barrel of match point.
Smart move by Dud there, knowing that the time was running out to just hide away to not get hit by Roby.
A chance. Another shot connecting. He needs another, though, and he's whiffing out. Needs to find this connection. Third chance. Third miss. A fourth going wide as well. Now the big iron on his hip. It'll have to do. Both players locked into the revolvers. Dud this time can't rely on the time. He's sitting with lower health. And he's trying to just find anything at range here. There's a connection. More damage to even the score. A second shot landing as well. It'll bring things a bit closer. Roby on 1 HP. His life in his hands, but his opportunity missed.
That was so close.
His fourth shot with the sniper miss. He needs precision if he wants a chance at $1 million. Just barely spotting his opponent. Dud not giving him an inch. Playing off this time.
Yeah, he could also play it safe here this time.
Yeah, bounced into the air. He knows he's off the HP advantage, and Roby, with lower health, he has to make the play. The onus is on him. His life, it's in his hands. And this game will be decided in the next 20 seconds. A game practically of hide and seek at this point. And where's he gone? He's hiding. He's locked in towards the shipping container. He knows what's happening.
He knows what he's doing.
Roby, it's desperation. He's running. He's trying to find his opponent, but there's just no time.
The time is up.
Wow. He wins the round, and he's our second contestant, progressing to the $1 million round.
Incredible. Very strategic.
Versus
relying a lot on his smarts this time rather than his gun skills.
And for Roby, I think a brutal way to lose this one out. He took a risk picking into that sniper rifle, and it did not pay off today.
Yeah, I wonder if he regrets that decision. Maybe we can ask him later.
I imagine it'll be something he's thinking about for a fair bit of time. For Dudda, though, I think he learned his lessons from the weapon selection mistakes in the first one. As we look at our final leaderboard from the round of 4, we, of course, get our 2 players into the $1 million round. It's Dudda, the lower seed, and Shafe, undefeated, coming through the upper bracket with his opportunity to win in the Tower of Hell. Truly, truly incredible stuff from them. But unfortunately, that of course means that we are sending another competitor home. For Roby, he had a great rally in those final few rounds of the qualification phase. But today, in Rivals, it was not his day. And, well, he had a great showing. He'll head home without his $1 million.
Sad to see a fellow fan of LeBron James go, but I was rooting for him. Very unfortunate.
A close showing from him, but that'll do it. It's how these competitions go, the nature of it. Just a round or two, one decision, that makes the difference. And honestly, it sets us up for such an incredible look ahead towards the Tower of Hell. What a match we have on our hands.
That's right. And with Shafe finishing Rivals and Driving Empire 2-0, explain to us how that sets him up for going into the obby.
Yeah, so that means that if he wins once, he wins the $1 million. But if Dudda wants to win, because he's coming from the lower, he would have to win twice in a row here. So definitely a tough one there. But we're going to reset. We're going to head our way into the obby in just a minute. And for the moment, let's go ahead and check in with our correspondents, Geach and Sabrina.
Take it away.
That was unbelievable. Everyone was literally running for their lives. It got me thinking, do I seem like a grenade launcher or a chainsaw type of person?
I don't know. I feel like, obviously grenade launcher would be a great choice, right? For safety. But with the jacket and the hair, I feel like to see the chainsaw, it would just like perfectly tie it all in together. That would be a
really
look.
Good answer. I do like grenades though.
Oh, so you're definitely a grenade launcher.
I love just throwing grenades everywhere.
I'd say chainsaw.
You do that for
in
your free time?
In any FPS game, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say you just
not in my free time.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, girl, what type of life are you living? What about me? What do I get? What's my energy? Am I
chainsaw?
Chainsaw?
Yeah.
That's nuts. What about me gives chainsaw? I'm curious.
I don't know. you're independent, and I feel like independent people have chainsaws, and scared people have grenades.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So let's talk about this match. These last couple of matches. Oh my gosh. I'm speechless, obviously.
You were screaming.
Maybe I'm just out of.
Literally, she was screaming. We were on the edge of our seat. That was so close. Like all those different rounds, we were like screaming at it.
I mean, yeah, there was
except the last one.
Well, yeah, I cried a little bit.
Yeah, last one we were just sad.
I definitely shed a tear or two, you know,
and happy at the same time.
Little thug tear. You know, but I gotta say, like, it was really, really exciting to watch Antarel's match because it was so close. It literally came down to like the very last second.
Yeah.
It was so exciting, but it's like, man,
the match that was back and forth and they just kept like tying up. That's why we were screaming.
Yes. Well,
yeah, I didn't expect it to be that close.
Right. And then I gotta say too, watching Dud get a chance to compete again against Roby. You know, I didn't know what to expect because you know, obviously, you know, Shafe was a tough contender from the beginning. Like Shafe did not come to play at all. That was that. He knew this is mine. Y'all can go on and just like it was fun for him. Like, oh yeah, I'll play your game, you know. Just to give you guys
very impressive.
to give you guys some content, you know, that, you know, since that's what you want. But watching Dud go up against Roby, it was almost kind of heartbreaking, like watching my two children fight or something. I don't because it's like, you know,
those are the ones you're rooting for? The competitors?
They touched my heart. They found the softest spot right here in the beginning. And it's like watching the kind of underdog story. Well, not necessarily for Dud, because Dud was one of the first ones to play. But then, you know, we sat here with him and he was just so happy and confident, you know, and it felt like, you know, he was like, yes, this is mine. And he did say, I'm not worried about these guys moving forward. This is easy. And he, you know, I won't say he proved it.
It's definitely tough. It's a tough position to be in.
He definitely worked for that.
And then it was gone.
Yeah, watching Roby. Oh my gosh.
This is brutal.
But you know, personally, I just would not have picked a sniper for that map. Did you get to see the map first?
Snipers are like, if you're good with it though, they're pretty OP.
I think the problem though is that map was just way too big.
It was really big for two people.
Right. It's huge for two people. And then you also have a sniper, but it's like, you know, Dead kind of took advantage of all of those closed in spaces, you know, just kind of like Mimi said, you know, it's a game of hide and seek at this point.
Yep.
And just to get, you know, that close. Oh gosh, you know, I just want to go give Roby a hug.
Aww.
My feelings, my heart.
Okay, I got a question here for you. Rivals is fast. What's your secret to staying cool in high stress rounds?
Oh, well, that's my secret, Sabrina. I'm always stressed. See how that works? I have no problem. You know, I can do this because I am this. You see?
But like, how do you stay cool?
I just, you know, pretend that, you know, I'm just in the kitchen or something, you know, think about food.
Okay.
You know?
Well, with that said.
All right, we're going to go ahead and throw it back to you, Jay Party, and we're going to finish this up.
All right, my friends, I have returned. And what a journey it's been hanging out with some of our contestants, getting a first-hand perspective on the final eliminations. What a fun thing. Anyway, congrats to Shafe and Dud. They are the last two contestants standing. But who will fall? This is what it's all about, my friends. It is time for the $1 million round. With the grand prize at stake, it all comes down to one final game.
The last round. Oh my gosh.
The aptly named Tower of Hell. It's going to be
Game
epic.
8, Tower of Hell.
Hold on.
The rules are simple. Climb as high as possible. Whoever gets to the top first or climbs the highest wins. But if an undefeated contestant loses the first match, a second will be played. Ultimately, the winner takes all.
All right. You heard it here, folks. The race to the top will begin shortly. Also noting, whoever gets the highest at any point, we will count that score. That encourages forward momentum in our players in a non-stop neck-and-neck race to the top.
Absolutely. And of course, it's also going to be an advantage coming in
here.
for Shafe as that upper round undefeated player. He only has to win once, but if Dud is to take this home, he would have to win, reset the bracket, and going into an even match, win it out again. A big task for him. Pressure is truly on. When you're playing through this, it kind of felt too real. Still a field in front of you, but now only one player on the other side.
I know.
He's
You see it
stopping you
here.
from a million.
I know. This is it. Millions and millions have tried to
want
have a
Duddy Dud to
shot
win.
at the final
That's
$1 million. And this competition has been won for the ages. This is a double elimination, as you remember. So if Dud can win this, there'll be an extended set, but Shafe can take the money on this race right through the heart of Tower of Hell. And actually, we have a little quick exciting announcement for you all. A game that has not seen an update in quite so long. Guess what? Has released a brand new Tower Portions update, greatly increasing the difficulty of this competition just as a little gift for our final two. They've not seen it. The world has not seen it. This is a brand new update. And I will say, I've seen the practice rounds. These guys are experts, and I think they need this. This is going to be a true epic race here as we're going to see some brand new sections of the course.
They're off to the races. 7 minutes between these players and $1 million.
Interesting word choice there, gift, J Party. I'm not sure if they appreciate this gift, seeing that it is much harder than it used to be.
Yeah, new sections. As we mentioned earlier, initially there was over 330 different sections of this puzzle, leading to over a quadrillion combinations that could be possible. So I'm assuming no one's ever seen the same tower twice. Well, that got a lot bigger of a number now with a whole new array of challenges.
Shafe, though, is out in front here and already building himself a commanding lead, but a fall back down. He'll catch himself, but that'll put him just a little bit further down. I believe Dud also fell too. So Shafe, despite his slip, still has the lead.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a couple falls here today, but thankfully, actually, Shafe had a pretty forgiving one. Did not hit an obstacle and fell almost on the same challenge he's on right there. So again, not losing a lot of time in the grand scheme of things.
Dud is hot on the tails, though. You see him catching up already here.
And as you can see on the sidebar there, we can see each player's positions in the race. It looks very, very close. They're just neck to neck.
Yeah, this is still anyone's game here. To say someone has a lead is just really, the happen circumstance of a single jump here.
You see how close they are.
Oh boy, in this section, I'm not even sure I understand how to proceed here. I think both players getting a little confused there as we see a fall from Shafe.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough one. Smile on his face in good sport as he heads to the bottom, knowing he might be joined by a friend shortly here. And there we go. That was a wild section. Even with observer cam, I'm not sure I understand how to progress through that one.
It is definitely challenging, and I'd almost like to just see if we could zoom out and just get some context how far they really have to go to get to the win here, because they're still only down in the second section. You look at that right side of your screen. There's, 8 more sections more that you have to compete through if you want to actually win this challenge.
Yeah, and a rough early fall here. Nerves starting to get to him a little bit here as one of the players takes a knockout from that little plasma beam there, and we are getting back to our challenge section here. We'll see if someone can get past it. This is going to be a big checkpoint. Oh, and a quick slip down and fall. Wow, this is some uncharacteristic play. I will see. We've seen a lot of practices in this game. It's usually an undefeated flying through of the tournament, but here, Nerves getting to him.
It is funny, we had so many of our players that said that obbies were their favorite, the game they had the most experience with. These are two of the players that, well, they've played Roblox for years. They definitely have experience in obbies. They didn't necessarily say it was one of their strengths, but that's where this entire tournament, all 7 games previous, will get decided on.
Yeah, it is a challenge. You've got to be an expert in just so many things to compete here. So again, all right, Dud is back in this challenge zone. I assume he's going to wait a little bit and try to figure this puzzle out before he progresses.
For the first time ever, the polls are looking very close. 52% of the viewers going for Dud and 48 going for Shafe.
Another little fall there from Dud, but again, he catches himself, a little bit of luck on his side there.
We'll see. And again, the stump right here. Can we get presses? I think I see that they pop out of the corner there, and you got to catch that on the corner.
I can't even comprehend. My brain can't comprehend what's going on.
So it's definitely a last-second jump to the platform that's rotating out of the beam here. Oh, he gets it. There we go.
There it is.
He's making the climb, slowly getting up higher. Oh, and there. Oh,
another fall.
Yeah, he's solving it though. So again, we're actually having to see people reason through some of these new challenges here, and I think Dud might be getting there, but Shafe.
I mean, you've seen the emotion. Every time these guys fall, they're reacting, they're feeling the pressure. I think, honestly, more than even a battle against the obstacles, this is a battle about staying calm, staying focused under pressure, not rushing yourself, not letting that big timer at the top of the screen get the better of you.
No, I can't be watching the time here. Just relax, just focus. Already we've seen this is a much slower competition here. There are puzzles to solve, and they need to spend some time. I think this zone has been a major stump.
Just relax. Easier said than done. My hands are soaked in sweat watching this.
Down goes Dudadud yet
Yeah,
again.
that was a rough missed jump there. Again, nerves really getting the best of him. Obviously, such a funny climax of this entire event as a single missed jump is going to result in a complete reset. And here we are, neck and neck from the
Back to
start.
the beginning. And you can't let seeing your opponent get the better of you. You don't want to rush anything. You don't want to make mistakes. One slip could be the difference, and there's a mistake. One of our players fell. Da-da-da, reset again.
And looking at the sidebar there, it looks like they've reached about, what, 20% of the entire tower so far?
If that.
Yeah.
It's a massive tower ahead here, and we'll see if we see another round, but this could be it here.
Dudada is kind of in the lead, so he is holding on. But yeah, if Shafe manages to catch up in these next 2.5
The critical thing is only 2.5 minutes left in this round. So Shafe, this run could be his last opportunity to get ahead. He wants to be so careful with each of these jumps. I believe this is the obstacle that no one has made it through just yet. Here's his chance. Good jump. He stays up in it as Dudada is back down on the reset. And Shafe, I think he just fell.
I think we heard the oof. That means he's down. Oh, and there it goes again. Boy, it is a rough run for our players here. Not sure who actually got higher on that initial
I
climb.
believe they've both busted that same obstacle.
Yeah, this actually might come down to a replay then of who made it to a block or a frame higher than the other person, because this is going to be rough.
Well, it looks like on the sidebar there, they do keep record of who reached the highest point, and so far it is Dudadud.
Oh, okay. Looks like he is leading. Good to know. Perhaps we'll have a redemption match.
Let's see if Shafe could maybe take his way up. Remember, if Dudada wins as he resets the bracket, brings us to a do-or-die final round of this very classic obby.
They're getting back to this section. Everyone's favorite.
And I just want to watch Shafe here, see his reaction, because this is the make or break for him.
Okay.
He jumps up.
Clear this.
He's making it deeper through this obstacle, but it's a challenge even to figure out how you want to move in this one.
Oh, and just like that, Shafe has cleared it.
Oh.
This has been the backbreaker with a
Is
minute
this it?
left.
A minute and a half. Dudada has to rally back and make it ahead of his opponent, because right now, Shafe, he has this in the bag.
Oh, he's still going.
And he hasn't stopped just yet. Dudada is on a reset. He's back down in the blue zone.
I think Shafe has time to just stop here and end it all, but he's still going.
But remember, the highest point he makes is what the game remembers. And if he keeps going, it might just be over.
Wow. 50 seconds. Is that enough time to catch up?
Shafe, the player who flew all the way from New York. He had a job offer on the line. He was ready for his orientation for that opportunity. And if we can watch Dudada, this is his last chance, his last run to try and beat him out. Shafe made his sacrifices, but he was the undefeated player through our rounds to work into this one.
Oh boy, all eyes on the man in blue here. Dudada, his round to lose. Where's he at here? This is the moment.
He's made it up to the yellow. A chance
Oh,
to
he
be
has
flipped.
cleared it.
Can he do
Dudada
this?
is
20
actually above
seconds.
it.
It's possible.
He needs
It's
to
possible.
run it.
Oh,
That should be it. 16
Oh
seconds.
my gosh, 15 seconds. Dudada his hands off keyboard. I cannot believe the pain.
He knows it's over.
Oh, final countdown, folks.
A victory lap.
Wow.
Shafe. He holds his position
3,
up high.
2,
And Shafe,
1.
he's the
This is
champion
it.
of the Mega
We got
Final.
it.
$1 million of Roblox, the Hunt Mega Edition. Yeah! Everyone only got it before.
All right, folks. We officially have it. Shafe, my friend, you're still standing. An incredible run here. Well, we've got a little gift for you. Hopefully, this will ease your nerves here. Something a little exciting here. This will be your prize. So, Shafe, congratulations. I still can't believe it. This has been a fierce, fierce competition. A shout out to everyone. We thought we'd bring some friends out along the way. All 10 contestants are here. The skill, the smarts, the determination to make it here. It's been an incredible journey. Congratulations to everyone. But here, let's take a big shout out again to Dudadud. He had an incredible journey there. That last jump, a painful fall in the last 10 seconds. But hey, it's time to celebrate everyone who competed in the Mega Championship for the Hunt. This was huge. You solved puzzles, tokens, looks, fought battles, outraced foes, conquered obbies, won shooters, earning you the right to be called the best. And of course, earning you the grand prize. Shafe, this one yours. Congratulations on $1 million richer. You've done it, my friend. All right, what are you feeling? How you feeling? Anything to say?
Oh my god, ecstatic, kind of all over the place. Dud, you did amazing. Oh my god, I was so nervous when you got to the, what was it, the yellow one? Oh, but I'm so glad that everyone's here. It was awesome. This event was awesome.
All right, my friend, any shout outs, any thank yous you want to give to the folks at home?
Shout out to Gagarg. Shout out to my parents. Shout out to Cobb. Shout out to Vepix. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. All right, my friend, what are you going to do? What are you going to buy first with $1 million?
Honestly, I'm gonna help my parents. They're having it rough right now.
All right.
So gonna help them save for a house.
How long ago
Alright.
did this thing start?
Figure out the rest
This
from there.
started
All right, you heard it here,
4 hours
folks.
ago. Oh my God.
Wonderful stuff. An awesome person deserving of wonderful things. Shafe, congratulations again. That was incredible. I know if I had $1 million, I'd spend that fully on floss. Why? Well, that's for me to know and you to find out. All right, my friends. This is it. We've done it. We've had an incredible show with an incredible crew. And my friends, I'd like to say a few thank yous. We've got someone $1 million richer, and for the rest of us, well, we've got $1 million worth of a rich experience. And that's all the award we need. But hey, maybe some thank yous would suffice. I want to say thank you again to the amazing co-hosts I had. Mimi, new to the Roblox universe.
13.
Where's my camera shot? There it is. Mimi, hello. Oh, yes, welcome. I don't know. We're shaking hands now. Thank you again. And you, of course, Frace, you all maybe know. And you, thanks again for all your work here, my co-hosts. You can even have a handshake. We're giving those away for free. Again, a huge thank you to Sabrina and Keach the Gamer. Fantastic commentary for saving us in the green room. Some wonderful stuff, hanging out with some cool folks. We couldn't have done it without you all. But really, the key here is all the incredible contestants who competed in an insane competition with millions and millions of folks and everyone who participated in the hunt. This was a massive community event, one of the biggest events we've ever had on the platform, actually. It was huge. It was absolutely incredible to see you all compete and all leading to this moment. Again, I want to give an amazing shout out to the whole crew that makes this possible. You might not see it at home, but there are a lot of folks behind a lot of fun cameras and a lot of important switchers making this whole show come alive. So thank you all to the crew. It has been amazing. I want to give a big thank you to the talented creators. That's right, the folks who updated these games, the 25 hunt participants. Again, Roblox is nothing without its creators. Y'all developers make this stuff magic. I know almost each and every one of you who helped with these games personally, and it's been an incredible run. Thank you for all the gifts, all the additional work of updates that you have provided us.